While my husband, Jack, was on a business trip, I was having lunch with Jack's mother, Sophia, when I received a phone call from Jack.
Something terrible happened. Actually, my mother collapsed.
What? I looked up. Sophia in front of me also looks surprised.
So, my parents' house is on the way back from my business trip. Right. I'll just go back to my parents' house and take care of my mother.
I looked at Sophia again. Then Sophia puts her finger to her lips. That meant that I should not tell him that she is here with me. Realizing that, I resumed that call with Jack. So, is Sophia okay? Should I go too?
To be honest, she doesn't like you because you don't listen to her. So you don't have to come.
I see. Okay. With that, Jack hung up. I had already figured it out at this point. Jack is obviously lying, and he is hiding something from me. As I was trembling, clenching my fist, Sophia said,
"Now, what should we do now?"
"My name is Elena, 30 years old. We have been married for 2 years. I work from home. As a writer, I write travel-related articles, drawing on my experience from working at a travel agency when I was single before. I met my husband, Jack, through my friend from university, Michael. They were colleagues. Jack was an ordinary office worker working at a medium-sized company. Besides his handsome face, everything about him was ordinary. We dated for about 2 years without any problems. Then he proposed to me on my birthday, which I happily accepted. We went to my parents' house to get permission to marry each other. Next, we decided to go to Jack's parents' house. His parents had already divorced, and his father has moved overseas, so Sophia was the only one at home. Sophia was president of the company she herself started, so I was nervous at first. Nice to meet you. I'm Elena, Jack's girlfriend. When I introduced myself, Sophia said, Sophia had short hair and a youthful, fresh-faced atmosphere. I sat down next to Jack nervously.
Mom, I want to marry her.
Yes, I won't object to whatever you two decide. Congratulations.
Sophia told me with a smile, and I felt at ease. In the chat that followed, we talked about my work.
Elena, what kind of work do you do?
I am a freelance writer. I am usually at home staring at the computer. Suddenly, Sophia had a worrying look on her face. What do you mean? That's not true. I think this is an honorable job. However, Sophia still had a difficult expression on her face.
But I'd still rather that you have a stable job, like a full-time employee.
I find my current job rewarding. Jack then interrupted us.
Well. How about we leave it at that?
The situation calmed down, but Sophia still frowned. However, her house and our new home are about 2 hours apart. Thinking that I wouldn't normally have to deal with Sophia, I went ahead and married Jack. The wedding day went well. Michael, the one who brought us together, gave a speech for us, livening up the ceremony. This is how my life with Jack began. And for the first year of our marriage, he helped me with the housework, and we were happy newlyweds. However, from around the second year, Jack said, I'm busy with work, and started coming home late. Even so, I didn't really suspect anything and just supported him in his busy schedule. Sophia and I meet occasionally, but each time she asks me, why don't you work as a full-time employee? Why don't you get some qualifications? One day, I was tired of Sophia asking me all the time. So I told Jack, I don't get along with your mother. I think she's a nice person, but she always complains about my work.
Well, my mother is an old-fashioned person. You don't have to try to get along with her.
I'd appreciate it if you would say so, but he didn't try to force me and Sophia to get along or make me listen to what Sophia had to say. I appreciated that a lot. One day, while I was working from home, my cell phone rang. The caller was Sophia, who I hadn't seen for a while. I was confused for a moment, but I couldn't ignore her, so I answered the phone. Hello, Sophia. Something wrong?
Elena, we have something to talk about today about your work.
Sophia, please be gentle with me.
No, I just wanted to apologize to you.
Huh? Sophia apparently happened to see an article I had written in a travel magazine. She did some research and found out that I was a famous writer who writes articles for several magazines.
I read your article. It was wonderfully written.
Oh, thank you so much.
I'm sorry. I may have looked down on the job of a writer until now. But when I learned about your intelligence and found out that you are doing a great job, I felt ashamed. I'm so sorry.
Sophia. Although I was surprised that Sophia had apologized, I was also happy. Other than the fact that she opposed my work, there was nothing to worry about Sophia's personality. In fact, I even respected her. I was happy because I felt like all my concerns are going away.
It's not like a compensation, but I'll come over by your house soon. So won't you let me treat you to lunch?
Oh, lunch?
If you don't feel like it, of course you can decline. But I'd like to hear more about your work.
No, Sophia, I'm happy. Please let me join you. Sophia and I decided to have lunch at a restaurant in the town where I lived 3 days later. I tried to report this to Jack, but he was still busy with work and went on a business trip to a far place the next morning. I wonder what Jack would say if he found out that I was having lunch with Sophia while he was away on a business trip. I'm sure he'd be happy. I had no concerns at that point. The day of lunch with Sophia came. The place was a high-class restaurant, so I got dressed up and headed to where we were supposed to meet.
Elena, over here.
Sophia smiled and waved at me and apologized again as I ran towards her.
I'm sorry for saying so many things about work.
That's okay, Sophia. Let's have a good time together today.
I'm glad you said that. Please have whatever you want.
Thank you, President Sophia. I will eat something I can always eat.
Well, I didn't know you are a such fun person, huh?
Sophia and I looked at each other and laughed as we headed to the restaurant. When I talked to Sophia over lunch, I began to see good things about her that I hadn't seen before. I had a lot of respect for Sophia, a strong yet kind person who was good at her job. After Sophia told her about her own divorce, she said this.
When I get divorced, I was so glad I had a job. It made me realize the importance of money and work. It made me realize how important it is for women to work.
Sophia, is that why you recommended me a full-time job?
Yes, I don't want you to suffer if something happens. But you have a great job and working hard.
I'm glad you understand. I'll do my best at work so I can be like you. The moment I said that, my cell phone rang. It's Jack. What's going on?
Jack is on a business trip right now, right?
Yes. I'll be using the speaker just in case, so Sophia can hear as well. I put the phone on speaker and put it on the table. Then Jack spoke up.
Elena, something terrible happened.
Aren't you on a business trip right now?
Yes, the business trip went off without a hitch, but something terrible happened. Actually, my mother collapsed.
What? I looked up. Sophia in front of me also looks surprised.
So, my parents' house is on the way back from my business trip. Right. I'll just go back to my parents' house and take care of my mother.
I looked at Sophia again. Then Sophia puts her finger to her lips. That meant that I should not tell him that she is here with me. Realizing that, I resumed that call with Jack. So, is Sophia okay? Should I go too?
No, you don't have to. You don't like her, right?
I see. Okay.
To be honest, she doesn't like you because you don't listen to her. So you don't have to come.
I see. Okay.
I'm gonna go now. With that, Jack hung up.
I had already figured it out at this point. Jack is obviously lying, and he is hiding something from me. Maybe he's cheating on me. As I was trembling, clenching my fist, Sophia said,
Now, what should we do now?
Sophia, I think this is what I think it is.
Unfortunately, I'm sure too that he is seeing someone. But don't worry, Elena. I'm on your side.
Sophia's powerful words made me determined to find out the truth. After that, I devised a strategy with Sophia.
I think it would be a good idea to check with his company first.
Sophia's idea reminded me of his colleague, Michael. When I sent a message to Michael saying, I want to talk, he replied, can we meet after work today? So I went with Sophia to a bar. Michael was surprised that I was with her, but when we told him the truth, he finally opened his mouth.
This is what I found out after checking with Jack's department. He hasn't been on any business trips. I was told that he has been taking days off.
I knew he was lying.
I was wondering if I should tell you about this.
Michael looks at Sophia and me alternately.
Please tell us.
When Sophia urged him, Michael seemed to have made up his mind.
Actually, Jack, his subordinate Lily seems to be close to each other. She is also taking days off at the same time.
A subordinate.
Yeah. Moreover, these photos are going around in the company.
Michael showed me his phone. It was a photo of Jack and a young woman in front of a hotel. Thank you. Can you send me this photo?
Of course. Sorry, Alina. I was the one who introduced him, so I felt responsible and couldn't tell you until now.
You aren't the one to blame. By the way, do you know where this girl lives?
I don't, but I know there is a colleague close to Lily, so I'll ask her.
Right then and there, Michael contacted his colleague, who told him that Lily lived in a nearby apartment. Thank you, Michael, for helping me. After Michael left, Sophia apologized to me.
Alina, I'm really sorry about my son.
It's okay, it is not your fault. I'll show him this evidence. I'll make this girl take responsibility too.
Wait a minute, Alina. With just this photo, they might be able to pretend that they were just walking together. We need to get more solid evidence. Leave it to me.
Sophia said that. She called a nearby detective agency. To my surprise, she offered to pay money to the agency to get conclusive evidence. It was a detective agency that was famous for being very speedy in conducting investigations.
Alina, please ask Jack when he's coming home.
Yes? Well, I got a message back saying, I'll be back the day after tomorrow. Then Sophia looked at me and nodded. 2 days later, when I was at home, Jack came back.
I'm home.
Welcome home. How was Sophia?
Her condition has calmed down considerably. But I'll have to go see her every now and then.
Okay, that must be a lot for you.
My mother is worried, so she wants me to be by her side.
After Jack said that, the door swung open.
Who did you say is the one that wants you to be with?
Mom.
Jack fell on his knees in surprise. Sophia and I cornered Jack.
Wait, what's happening? Why are you here? The two of you are not getting along well.
That's too bad. We made peace.
While I was having lunch with Sophia, I received a call that she had collapsed, so I was in surprise.
Oh, no.
I told Jack that, whose eyes widened. Where and with whom have you been with? And what were you doing in the past few days? Jack turned pale and doesn't speak a word. I finally started talking, thinking that he wouldn't start talking. The business trip was a lie. It was just a cheating trip with Lily, right?
What are you talking about? Who is Lily?
Jack started playing dumb, so I showed him the photo of them together Michael sent me. Then, as expected, Jack said something like this.
This is from after we got drinks with other colleagues. I have nothing to do with her. She's just a subordinate.
Then what is this? I showed him more photos. It clearly showed Jack coming out of Lily's house and also kissing her by the front door.
What is this?
You're going on a cheating trip under the guise of a business trip. You couldn't get enough, so you lied to me and stayed at her house, right? Sophia hired a detective agency to obtain this photo.
Oh, Mom.
Jack looks at Sophia in disbelief when Sophia suddenly slaps him.
You stupid son. What are you doing even though you have such a good wife? Have you forgotten the reason why your father and I divorced? It was because he cheated on me, right? You two are so alike in that way. Pathetic.
Oh, Mom.
I talked about having you inherit my company someday, right? I'm going to cancel that. Not only that, but I'm going to cut off the ties between us. Wait and see.
No. No way.
Jack thought it was pointless no matter what excuses he make, so he apologized to me.
Elena, I just did this on a whim. Please forgive me. I'll be a good husband from now on.
So I spranged at him in rage. Are you kidding me? How could you lie to me, betray me, and then say such things? We're getting divorced. You are going to pay me the compensation for cheating on me.
Oh.
Sophia kicked Jack out of the house as he could no longer say anything and just groaned. Later, our divorce was finalized. Sophia hired a lawyer for me, and I was able to win more money than expected. I also demanded compensation from Lily. It heard that Jack and Lily had a dispute over this matter, which ultimately led to their breakup. After that, Sophia gave me a large sum of money as an apology. Sophia showed Jack no mercy. Apparently, Jack's employer hired him through Sophia's connections, and Sophia told the president of Jack's company to fire her son. Jack was fired from the company for messing with his subordinate and disrupting company morals. It seems that Jack, who has used up his savings due to the compensation he gave to me, and being that Sophia cut ties off with him, is now living in an old and dirty apartment and working day and night as a day laborer. Even after I heard about this, I had no sympathy for him. Serves you right. For me, I moved out with the compensation money and am continuing to work as a writer. I and Sophia have become even better friends, and we sometimes travel together. I think that there is still a lot to learn from her. I am very fond of Sophia, who is always being kind to me, and I want to continue to live my life positively with her.